Hey Jelly Gang fam, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I thought I would talk to you all about my experience being a Twitch streamer and tell you some of the best and worst things, as I think it might be useful for anyone who is wanting to become a streamer or already is a streamer or maybe is just interested in general. But before I continue, I just want to put a little bit of a disclaimer in and say that I am in no way complaining. I am very much aware that I am very privileged to be in this position, and I believe that I have one of the best jobs in the world. But I just thought that this would be a fun little video to spill the tea and just give you guys a little bit more of an insight into what it's like being a full-time Twitch streamer. So getting straight into it, I am going to start with one of the best things about being a Twitch streamer. This one is probably a very obvious one, and that is being your own boss. Being able to make your own time schedule and waking up whenever you want is pretty nice. Not having the stress of traveling to work or having a boss to answer for is pretty good, especially for somebody like me who has ADHD, and small tasks like that were always very, very difficult for me. It just makes the whole work in general a lot less stressful, and if I want to turn up to a stream early or late, it doesn't matter because I'm my own boss and no one can shout at me, except for my Twitch stream. They definitely shout at me. And now onto one of the not so great things about being a Twitch streamer, and it kind of rolls off the back of my last point, and that is that I've become a little bit of a hermit. If you watch my last video, you will know that I started streaming back in COVID times, which forced me into a lot of good but also bad habits. One of these being the fact that it stopped me from socializing and feeling the need to go out. I also struggle being in big crowds now. I don't like being out in public. And I find every reason to stay at home and not go to social events. And I've kind of just become an overall recluse. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm a confident person and I enjoy socializing with people. I just don't like doing it outside. I genuinely believe the longer you spend on Twitch, the less social skills you have. But the way that I justify it is the world out there is dangerous, and I am safe in my nice little gaming room where no one can get me. But yeah, if I had to pick like a con, I would say that is probably one of them. On to my next positive point about being a streamer: relationships. Relationships made both professionally and personally have been some of the strongest I've ever made in my whole life. And it's so funny because all of these people are online, and a lot of them I've never met before. A lot of them I have now, but I don't know, it's something about online friendships. I guess it's because you've not grown up with these people. They don't know where you've come from. They don't know your history. Just makes you feel like you can tell people anything. And I feel like it just makes that bond that much tighter when you make a good friendship online. So yeah, I'm very grateful for my online friendos. And then moving on to professionally, can't say that word, professionally, I'm actually about to work with one of my dream companies that little baby streamer Jelly would be so insanely gobsmacked to hear. I can't say yet who it is, but they have been one of my dream companies to work with, and I would have never got that opportunity if I hadn't have streamed. Now, there's definitely a con that runs off the back of this one. So again, I'm gonna say relationships, both professionally and personally. I think when anyone starts streaming, unless they've been in content creation before, we all start off a little bit naive and we kind of just trust anyone, whether they be a person or a company, because we just feel so new to it all and we're like, oh, I must be wrong. You must be right. Okay, I'm sorry. When in actual fact, a lot of people and companies could actually be taking advantage of you. And I've definitely personally experienced that a lot. I have met people who have been the most amazing seeming people who I've put my whole heart and trust into, who have unfortunately stabbed me in the back during my content creation career, which is kind of sad because it definitely has affected my trust issues with people. Because part of being a streamer is about socializing. And then if you have a bad event that happens to you like that, it can then kind of ruin that. And the same goes for companies that you might work with. I think it takes a long time to understand your worth as a content creator. You definitely start off by underselling yourself. And don't get me wrong, there's no harm in doing collabs for free if you're okay with not being paid or you like the product a lot. And I've definitely worked with companies that have expected a lot from me. but not given a lot in return. But I guess that's all a learning experience. And it's all part and parcel of learning how to be a content creator and essentially run your own business. I will just make a point that I've noticed with a lot of my pros and cons here, they kind of delve into each other a little bit. I've noticed a lot of the good things run alongside the bad things. They're almost the same points that have both good and bad sides to them, which I think are pretty interesting. And I think it's good to get it out there just for anyone who may find the tips useful and learn what to look out for. My next positive point is being rewarded for working hard. Now, I know that this doesn't work out for everyone, me included. Sometimes I will work super duper hard one month and not be rewarded for it in the slightest. But I like the fact that there's no limitations on what you can do and how much you can earn. For example, in a so-called normal job, most of the times you tend to have a fixed pay no matter how hard or not so hard you work during a month. Whereas I find with streaming, if I am constantly editing, pumping out content, streaming on top of that, I tend to get rewarded for it more because my videos get pushed out more, companies see my videos, they then reach out and want to do collabs with me. So then overall, I tend to earn more in a month. But sometimes this cannot always happen, which leads me nicely into my next con, and that is the well-known fact that Twitch streaming is not always reliable. Some months I can get an amazing pay that is just incredible and I'm like, oh my God. But then other months it can be the complete opposite end and it's just really inconsistent is what I would say. It can definitely make you feel very unstable at times and oftentimes it's out of your control. You could put so much effort into your Twitch streams one month, you could put in more hours, you could upgrade the stream, and sometimes you'll just see nothing back. And then other months, all of a sudden you can pop off. You could get more subs, you could get big donations. A lot of the times it's just out of your hands, which can be very stressful. But that is very much the risk that you have to be aware of taking when going into content creation in general. It is not a reliable career and it could go either way at any time. Just as long as you're aware of that, it's okay. I am going to end this video on a positive, of course. And this is my favorite part about being a Twitch streamer, which is the community. Classic Twitch streamers saying how much they adore their community, blah, 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 blah. And I don't care. Because it's true. It is so true. Building my community has been the best thing about being a Twitch streamer. And I'm gonna tell you why. Through my community support in Jellyotti, you have supported Jasmine. It feels really weird saying my name on here. But believe it or not, Jellyotti is not Jasmine. Jellyotti in my eyes is what Jasmine aspires to be. Jellyotti is confident, Jellyotti is kind, Jellyotti is not afraid to be herself. And before I was a Twitch streamer, Jellyotti did not exist. It was just Jasmine. And Jasmine was a little bit of a hot mess. Jellyotti helped me iron out a lot of insecurities. She helped me express myself. She also made me realize that I was neurodivergent, and that is what eventually led me to getting my diagnosis and the help that I needed. But the point is Jellyotti could not have been created without the community. Now, yes, I did create Jellyotti before I had a community, but Jellyotti wouldn't have carried on if you guys hadn't have been there. And I genuinely believe had I not started Twitch streaming and built the community that I have, I would have ended up continuing to just struggle along with life, not realizing that I had a disability. And I guess I would have just coped instead of living my life to my full potential, which I feel being a Twitch streamer has allowed me to do. And on that soppy note, that's the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Give it a big thumbs up if you did. Make sure to comment down below what you want to see me doing next. And if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed and turn on that notification bell to get updated every time I upload a video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.